We've got state parks, sports, arcades, and so much more coming to you in today's episode. Let's check out what's just next door.
Welcome to another episode of Just Next Door. Get comfortable as we're about to take you on a ride to see new places across the region. I'm Jonathan Colella.
And I'm Michelle Kendig. Today we'll hear about the beauty of nature, the dedication needed for sports, and what it takes to be a U.S. Marine.
We have all these interesting stories and much more coming to you straight from LaSalle's student body. Nature is beautiful, especially if you're going for a hike in a state park. Taking in the views makes the challenge of hiking worth it. My co-host, Michelle Kendig, got the chance to visit Patapsco State Park in Central Maryland. Show us what you got, Michelle.
Patapsco Valley State Park is a park located in central Maryland that extends along the 32 miles of the Patapsco River.
Yeah, I really just love coming to Patapsco to, enjoy the nature, and the scenery is very aesthetically pleasing to me. So, it's good to see, there's still areas where, there's vegetation available and, wildlife and trees and animals and water and just nature, just watching Mother Nature in general.
Patapsco State Park has 8 developed recreational areas that support hiking, fishing, camping, and pretty much anything else that you would do in the great outdoors.
So just to get some fresh air, just some sunlight, really does the body good. But I like going all the way down to where the bridge is under there, because I just feel like it's more like, low-key spot. A lot of people aren't there, so I like it best. I've never been down there, that's why we're exploring it, but I've been to the railroads. That's nice scenery if you want to take pictures and stuff like that, but I've never been the type to do that, so.
Each of Patapsco State Park's 8 recreational areas boasts unique attractions beloved by its locals, so come on down and see what all the fuss is about.
It must be relaxing to surround yourself with the sound of water and trees blowing in the wind.
It definitely was relaxing being able to take in the beauty of nature. But hiking isn't the only thing that you can do in a state park. At Osborne State Park, located in Connecticut, you can go fishing and even learn about the history of Pocasset Native Americans.
In her home city, our crew member, Anita Waslow, can talk to you more about the different activities you can do there. Take it away, Anita.
Would you believe that this place used to be home to the Pocasset Native Americans? Welcome to Osborne State Park, located right in Derby, Connecticut. The park offers a variety of things to do, and as the seasons change, so do the activities. People from surrounding towns and cities come for the beautiful lake, which can be used for ice skating in the winter. Some just like to take a stroll around the water and to enjoy the views. Lots of people like to come fishing in the early morning for the best catch, while others like to enjoy the hiking trails hidden within the trees to get in touch with their nature side. You can even visit the park's main building to find out more information on the history of the park and its Native American roots. It's definitely a nice place to come and relax during the day up until the park closes at sunset.
There's nothing better than learning about history while reeling in a fish. Maybe I'll have to take a hike there to learn even more about it.
I agree. After all, I know you do love fishing.
Oh, absolutely. Before we move on, Michelle, which do you prefer, the city or the country?
I'm not sure why.
Well, some people prefer the city, others prefer the country, but what about those who want a little bit of both? If that's the case, then Delaware is for you. I took a trip from New York all the way to Delaware to see what a smaller city was like. After all, New York is massive.
Since you're living in New York, Delaware would sure seem small. Well, let's see what you got for us, Jonathan.
New York is a funny little place. Most people refer to it as the city that never sleeps, but I like to refer to it as the double-edged city. Why? Because for everything that's good, there's something that makes it bad. For example, everything is so close and condensed, and there's so much to do at every corner. But the drawback is, there's so many cars on a 3-lane street! Why is there so many cars?
As a New Yorker myself, New York roads are incredible. Driving in New York is probably the most painful thing I've ever experienced in my life. All the people there are so nice. The people there are the worst. And it makes the driving experience just that much greater. I want to die every time I leave my house.
So I had enough. I packed my bags and I went down to visit my friend in Delaware to see what it was like. And I found out. This is the best day of my life.
Yeah, man, I really love Delaware. I do miss people sometimes, I have to admit. But trees are cool. Trees are awesome.
Now, in this area of Delaware, we have the Westtown Movies. We're the movie theater, the only movie theater for miles. And then if you turn around, there's the Red Robin right there. And then that's kind of it.
You like driving? A lot of roads.
In the end, however, these two places have their own pros and cons that set them apart. And they're both just as good. Just kidding, it's totally New York because of the pizza. You know, after visiting Delaware, I think it's safe to say I'm more of a city person after all, even with all the people and traffic. New York is definitely the place for me.
I agree. I think I would choose the city too. There's just so much to do there. But before we continue the show, we're going to take a quick break.
But don't worry, when we come back, we'll hear about two very different career choices, a film director and a U.S. Marine. Stay tuned.
Hey. Hey man, wanna try this new Jewel flavor I got, bro? It's kinda crazy. What's this flavor called again? It's called Death. Death? Hey man, if you say so. Hey, kid. Hey. Nah, man, I'm good. I gotta go to the bathroom anyway.
Welcome back. We hope you're enjoying the show. For our next segment, we'll learn what being a film director is all about. There are many parts that come with making a movie. Everyone involved has an important role, but the director is the leader in that process.
Crew member Eve Casimir has a relative that is a film director and is working on making his first movie. Show us what you got, Eve.
Daniel Archike, upcoming director and writer. Bachelor's degree in English. We had a chance to meet with him and to get his take on what it takes to be a director.
Yeah, a director usually they aren't the boss, but they're in charge of everything in front of the camera.
Every director isn't the same. It is not easy to always get your vision across all the time. Having your crew with the same mindset would benefit the outlook greatly.
Execute the director's vision as clearly as possible. That's really all a director is. So when they're working with the actors, they're like, I want you to do this because it's how I see it in my head, so do it this way. And a good director will be able to make sure the actor knows exactly what they're talking about. A bad director, that's the ones you see like cussing and swearing and all that because they don't really know how to express themselves properly. They're really frustrated. So
we also got to ask Daniel Archike about how life is on set.
yeah, I would say that I enjoy it. I'm definitely, my background is in writing, so I'm much more comfortable writing, obviously working at a computer. So again, writing is like, that's my main passion, so I prefer to do that more. But directing, it's a good time. It really is. If you can get the hang of it and you have a good crew working with you. So
That looks like it takes a lot of creativity. I can't imagine the long days and nights he must have.
With tons of competition out there in the film industry, I'm sure he's finding a way to make himself stand out. Hopefully, we'll see his name on the big screen one day.
While trying to be a successful film director is a lot of hard work, let's see what it takes to be a U.S. Marine. Crew member Josh DeLillo sat down with a friend of his who is enlisting in the United States Marine Corps, where he was able to get the inside scoop. Let's hear about it, Josh.
I'm Josh DeLillo with LaSalle TV's Just Next Door, and I'm here with my good friend, Austin Bertolette. How are you today, Austin?
Well, we're doing pretty good. I mean, it's been a cold one, but a nice one today.
Very nice, very nice. So you're actually preparing to be shipped off to basic training for the Marines, am I right?
Yes, the Marines. I leave in January.
Absolutely. How exciting is that for you?
Right now I'm excited, but I'm sure within a week or two out, I'll not be as excited, but we'll see.
Alrighty. So I do have a couple questions for you just about your preparation and, what got you into this and why you wanted to join the armed forces and things like that.
Nice.
So the first question I have here is, what was your inspiration to pursue a career in the military, and why did you choose the Marines?
Grandfather, who was a pretty big inspiration for me going in, I would look up to him. He had talked much about it, but I knew he was a Marine. And as I got older and went through schooling and stuff like that, me and my friends would hang out and we'd play Army Men and do stupid stuff like that. But then I think the biggest thing that helped was in middle school, the one shop teacher would have a military-esque quintile, and we'd watch these Medal of Honor videos. I think that planted like the seed of it, just me wanting to join. And then as I went through high school, didn't know what I was going to do. 10th, 11th grade, I was not great. I was not doing great in school, not very book smart. But my friends were all enlisting. They're like, all right, we're going to do this. And I was like, we'll take a look at it. And I mean, I was a chunky kid. So it was definitely weird for me to be like, all right, let's do the military. But we're here now and I'm enlisted and can't wait to go.
Tell me about your journey. What did you have to do to prepare for being shipped out in January? Like, what physical needs did you have to meet?
Before you leave, you have to do what's called an IST. So that's basically your validation. That involves a 1.5 mile run. You have to get a minimum of 3 pull-ups and 60 crunches. It seems like pretty easy stuff, but like I was saying earlier, I was a chunky kid. I was up that damn near 280 pounds, maybe even heavier. This was still when quarantine was going on. So I was outside. I ran every day. So that helped my 1.5 miles right away. So, I got a good time on that. Started working out. So, got my crunches up, did everything like that. Worked a lot of abs. I do, standard workout stuff. Then I was just trying to lose weight, cutting out like fatty foods, watching what I eat, counting calories, doing stuff like that. But it's just, hard work and dedication. There's not much more other than just a lot of working out.
So what is your boot camp going to be like? What challenges are you going to face? If you can give us a little tease about that.
First week, from what I heard, it sucks. You don't get a lot of sleep. It's running around doing a whole bunch of other stuff. You get issued all your gear. You get your head shaved, everything like that. As you move through first phase, they break you down. They break the civilian in you. And as you keep moving, you eventually get the second phase, where you start, getting into the groove of things. You're marching now every day. You're working out, doing everything like that. And then you start feeling like a Marine. You're still a recruit, but you're still feeling like a Marine. So you all kind of become a cohesive unit and all share that bond. Your final 1.5 weeks, 2 weeks, you do what's called the Crucible to simulate food and sleep deprivation. So you have 2 MREs for those 54 hours, and you only get 4 hours of sleep. And you you hike 9 miles there. You do a bunch of courses, getting yelled at the whole time, everything like that, the whole 9 yards. And then after all that, you're tired, you're hungry, everything like that. You put on your heavy bag that's got all your stuff in it, and you have to hike that 9 miles back. It's the final test. It's the 9-mile hike back. You do the EGA ceremony, which is you go to the Iwo Jima Monument, and they do a whole speech, the whole 9 yards, and you're there, and then they give you your EGA, the Eagle Globe and Anchor, which is the Marine Corps logo. They hand you that, and it's, everybody cries. It's like the first time they're like, okay, you can cry. First time you can do that while you're there. And then they call you Marine for the first time, and then you go do something called the Warrior's Breakfast.
Definitely seems like a tough task ahead. So moving on to our final question. What is the most important thing you have learned while preparing for this next chapter in your life?
I think the biggest thing was never give up. It's crazy how much the mind plays a big part in physical things. If you would have told me a year and a half ago, hey, you're going to be 215 pounds, you're gonna look good, you're gonna feel good, everything like that, I would look at you like you're crazy. But it's all mental stuff. You might not see the progress while it's happening. Like, it's funny, I'll go look in the mirror, I'm like, I don't feel like I look that much different because I'm looking at myself every day. Being mentally strong and being patient is like two of the biggest things that I learned out of this.
Well, that's all the questions I have. I've definitely learned a lot, and I hope our viewers back at home have gained some knowledge about what it actually takes, to go through with that. Enlisting into the armed forces, it definitely takes a lot, and you're a great firsthand experience. I definitely have noticed the physical changes in you, being your close friend. And I've definitely seen that, like, your mindset is in the right space. So that is fantastic going into it. So hopefully you can, build on those things and, get even stronger when it's time to be shipped out. Well, that's all the time we have for this interview. Thank you again for meeting with me, and I will catch you later. For Just Next Door, this is Josh Lillo, and starring with me today is Austin Burlett.
Wow. Enlisting into the military is not for everybody. It definitely takes a lot of bravery and motivation.
Definitely. Since they are away from their loved ones for long periods of time, I imagine that it's not easy. I have a lot of respect for those serving in the United States.
We've covered a lot of stories in this episode so far, but we're not done yet. After the break, you'll hear all about what it takes to be a part of a sports team, as well as running one, and an arcade full of games.
Stick around as we continue to find out what's just next door.
How do they, oh my God, I swear, these sports show hosts just get dumber and dumber as time goes on. Like, I can't believe people are actually paid money, real money, more than what I make at my job to say this stupid stuff. Like, I can't believe this crap. Oh my gosh. I'm about to lose it. Like, this is just, how can they even,
Hey, what you doing?
This stupid sports show. These people have no idea how the game of basketball is played. Not at all.
Hey, you're not you when you don't watch LaSalle TV. Here, let me show you.
Have much more left, but the only reason why now for everyone else it's a one-year rental.
Talk Philadelphia here on LaSalle TV. I'm your host, all that and much more.
Feel better now?
Better. You're not you when you're not watching LaSalle TV. To stay up to date, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Welcome back to Just Next Door. To continue the show, crew member Greg Shannon has a friend who is on the national Jamaican lacrosse team. He got the chance to speak with his friend about his journey on how he made the team and what it takes to compete at a national level. Let's take a look.
For many athletes, becoming a pro is the ultimate goal. However, playing on the national team is even greater. I met up with Dominic Murphy, a player on the Jamaican men's national team, to learn more about his journey.
I literally found who was the head coach. I followed him on Instagram, and when he followed me back, I posted a highlight tape. I texted him first, and I said I was interested in playing the team, and he looked at the tape, messaged me back saying, "Oh, he'd keep me informed," and then I believe 4 months later, I get an email saying I'm added into like a player pool to get selected to be on the roster, but they're just gonna, get involved and go to another tournament.
But when you make a team like this, it's not all just fun and games. There's a lot more training that goes on too.
Like now that there's another tournament coming around, been trying to eat a lot of clean food. Been trying to hit the field at least 2-3 times a week. It's just a lot of training, a lot of just like going into like random tournaments in North Jersey, South Jersey, Delaware. Maybe if something in Maryland too, if it's not too cold.
But even though he has to train a lot, he's still very excited for all the upcoming events and tournaments he gets to go to.
Closest upcoming tournament we have right now is we're going to go up to Rochester, New York. We'll be practicing with the Iroquois national team. It's going to be like a 3-day thing. Looking forward to pick a lot of their brains. I hope like a few players, 2-3 players are there so I can talk to them.
Dominic Burfee, a tremendous, hard-working player that finally gets to show it on the national stage.
Wow, that sure seems like fun, but also a lot of dedication too. Even after making the team, it sure doesn't get any easier.
Definitely not. Being on a sports team is hard, but what about running one? It sure seems like it takes just as much hard work and dedication. Crew member Alex Richards knows firsthand what it's like since his dad runs a local basketball organization. It takes a lot of patience to be able to coach young players.
I agree. It also takes a lot of dedication to coach them to have fun while also making them to be the best players that they can be. Let's hear more about it, Alex.
Basketball is a sport that requires a lot of dedication and fundamentals. For nearly a decade, T-Town Ballers has been providing top-level coaching and development in the New Jersey area.
Basketball is not just running up and down the court. It's a mental game. It's a physical game. It's learning how to work as a team. These are not just skills for a sport. It's also skills for life. So we're trying to build them as not just elite basketball players, but as elite men.
The coaches of this AAU organization spend a lot of their spare time helping these kids maximize their true potential. They play in nationally recognized tournaments in states like Virginia, Maryland, and Pennsylvania to get the necessary exposure for their players.
The purpose of AAU is for these players to develop their talent. We want them to build on whatever skills that they have now to an elite status. I think that's the thing that we're most proud of is our player development, making sure that our players are getting an education along with playing this game of basketball.
The ongoing pandemic has slowed down their plans for the upcoming season, but they do plan to get back in shape in these next couple months.
That's awesome. We need more people like him to steer the next generation of athletes.
Basketball sounds fun, but do you want to know what else sounds fun? An arcade. More specifically, an arcade with bowling, karaoke, and billiards.
That's right. Round One is an entertainment center located in Deptford, New Jersey. It has fun for the entire family. With their recent grand opening, Annie Feliciano was able to take a trip there to see what all the fun was about. Take it away, Annie.
If you're looking for fun for the entire family, then Round 1 is the place to go. With over 250 arcade games, a 12-lane bowling alley, billiard tables, and food and drinks, there is something for everyone. There are many different games available at Round 1. They have traditional ones like skee ball and air hockey, and even newer ones like virtual reality stations and Connect 4 basketball. During your time at Round 1, you have the chance to win some awesome prizes. You can win prizes at the traditional claw machines, or you can redeem the tickets that you've won at the Victory Zone. You can also host parties here in their party rooms, come out for a fun date night, or even just a night out with friends. So next time you have some free time, come have some fun at Round 1. After all, I'm sure you'll be playing more than one round of games.
That definitely seems like somewhere I would want to go. The arcade always brings out the little kid in me, especially when it comes to skee ball.
Skee ball is cool, but bowling is more of my kind of fun. Getting a strike feels awesome.
We'll agree to disagree, but sadly it seems like our show is coming to an end. We've traveled to a lot of places, so I hope you put some down to visit on your bucket list.
But before you go, we want you to stay in touch with us. Follow us on Twitter at LaSalle TV Philly and on Instagram at LaSalle TV. We would love to hear what you think of our show and any suggestions you might have.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'm Michelle Kendig.
And I'm Jonathan Colella. We'll see you next time on Just Next Door.